Health and safety effects of inadequate lighting: eye strain, headaches, poor posture, tripping over unseen objects, increased likelihood of error, increased time to evacuate. Factors to consider in the provision of adequate lighting: the task being undertaken, the layout and size of work area, the equipment being used, availability of natural lighting, suitability of artificial lighting, the shift patterns, glare from computer screens, areas in shadow, maintenance, replacement of faulty lighting, requirement for emergency lighting, health effects of working in hot environment, skin burns, dehydration, heat exhaustion, heat cramps, heat cataracts, heat strokes, heat stress, radiant heat burns, protective measures of working in hot environment, medical pre-selection, acclimatization, cold drinks, minimize exposure, shielding and refuges, regular work breaks, ventilation, control of humidity, suitable clothing, heat surveillance, reducing hot, cold at source, mechanical aids, health effects of working in a cold environment, onset of fatigue, shivering, loss of dexterity, cold burns, frostbite, hypothermia, precautions of working in a cold environment, thermal clothing, reduced exposure, monitoring, follow safe mechanisms, alarms for cold stores, the health effects of working in a seated position: vertebral and muscular damage, high blood pressure, circulation problems, for example thermobasis, suitable seat for sedentary work: good lumbar support, ability to adjust the seat back and seat height, provision of footrest, stability of the seat base, swivelability, provision of arms rest, suitable seat material for the environment, welfare requirements, sanitary conveniences, washing facilities, drinking water, accommodation for clothing, facilities for changing clothing, facilities for eating meals, working environment factors that can cause stress: inadequate lighting, cramped/dirty/untidy conditions, poor layout, privacy/security, glare, temperature, humidity, inadequate ventilation, stale air, noise, vibration, inadequate welfare facilities, inclement weather conditions, areas of violence at work, internal violence: by fellow employees, and this can involve bullying, external violence: physical, verbal aggression, and assault by people outside the organization, persons at risk: violence, work involving direct contact with public hospitals/shops, work where money or valuables stores, stressful and emotive circumstances exist, retail, petrol and late-night shopping mall and other similar operations, work with people suffering mental impairments, illness, injury, working alone, taxi drivers, police and security guards, preventing measures of violence at work, queue management and information, less face-to-face contact, use cashless systems, that is direct debit or card payment, check credentials and locations, avoid lone working in high-risk areas, call-in systems for lone workers, video cameras, alarms. Arrangements for staff working late and employee training. Change public waiting areas, wider counters. Provide staff with escape routes and protective screens, security codes. Signs of drug misuse which you might look for include sudden mood changes, unusual irritability or aggression, a tendency to become confused, abnormal fluctuations in concentration and energy, impaired job performance, poor timekeeping, increased short-term sickness absence, a deterioration in relationships with colleagues, customers or management, dishonesty and theft, establishing drugs and alcohol policy at work. All new applicants will be screened. Random testing will be applied automatically. Test will apply to all staff. Testing will be carried out after specific incidents. Training for supervision to recognize the problem. What help the employer will make available to the employee. If an employee brings to the attention of the employer they have a problem, it will be treated with confidence. What are the disciplinary actions the employer will take? Movement of the people in workplace: falls from height, falls on the same level, factors contributing to slips, trips, the floor surface: slippery surface, holes, uneven surface, etc. Contaminations: spillages, leaks, obstructions: rubbish, trailing cables, rugs, etc. The task: carrying loads, space to work. Environment: lighting. Footwear: unsuitable footwear. The people: unaware of the dangers. Slips and trips precautions: designated walkways where possible. Ensure walkways are level. Ensure walkways are non-slip. Well-lit and clearly marked walkways. Procedures to identify problems quickly. Eliminate need to carry loads. Make employer aware of the hazards. Employees precautions to avoid slips: follow designated walking routes. Wear appropriate footwear. Avoid walking on uneven surfaces. Avoid areas where spillages have occurred. Avoid poorly lit areas. Report any problems immediately. Causes of slips on stairs: inadequate design, poor housekeeping, poor lighting, slippery surfaces or unsuitable footwear, damaged flooring or coverings, manual handling, rushing. Action to prevent slips on stairs: adequate width of walkways, stairs and handrails fitted. Remove obstructions, trailing cables. Improve lighting level and install emergency lighting. Non-slip surfaces, spillages procedures, covered stairs. Maintenance, repair and report defects. Use lifts for loads, site rules. Precautions of working at height. All work at height is properly planned and organized. Those involved in work at height are competent. Work at height is risk assessed and appropriate work equipment is selected. Risk from fragile surfaces are properly controlled. Equipment is properly inspected and maintained. Working at height hierarchy. Avoid working at height wherever possible. Use work equipment or other measures to prevent falls where working at height cannot be avoided. Where the risk of falls cannot be eliminated, use work equipment or other measures to minimize the distance and consequences of a fall should one occur. Hazards to pedestrians. Struck by moving, falling or flying objects. Striking against fixed or stationary objects. Housekeeping issues. Housekeeping hazards. Someone could trip or fall. Increased risk of fire. Fire exits could be blocked. There is a risk of infection. Chemicals are being used. Infestation that allows breeding of rats, cockroaches, etc. Vehicle collisions. Falling materials. Housekeeping precautions: Identify housekeeping requirements. Responsibilities for housekeeping. Resources for good housekeeping. Train staff in use of equipment. Regular inspections. Control measures for pedestrian hazards: The floor surface. Contamination. Obstructions. The task. Environment. Footwear. The people.
Please give comment and suggestions.
Thank you.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thank for visit our channel. See you next class.
Thank you.